Well, we've got two great experts for you now. Tina Lyons, she's a top financial journalist, and Wedding Magazine's very own Rachel Ashley. Hi Rachel, Tina, thanks very much for joining us today in the studio.
Thank you.
Right, before we get into real basics about wedding cost saving, Tina, can I ask you, credit crunch obviously is two words on everyone's lips at the moment. Are there any general ways that Amy can make the most of her money?
Things like house insurance, car insurance, that can make, if you look at them again, make sure you go to the comparison websites, that can make your money go further. And other things, the obvious things like don't go to Starbucks on the way to work in the mornings, take a packed lunch. If you know you've got a goal, it actually makes it a lot easier than if you think this is going to be forever, these horrible soggy sandwiches.
It's the small things that make the big difference. Okay, well, let's get into real ways to save money for your wedding. Rachel, can you think of any sort of really overview ways of saving money? Maybe the time of year, when she's getting married?
Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing. Time of year is crucial. Obviously, the key wedding season is May to September. So if you can look at having your wedding in, say, March, you can save as much as 50% at some venues. Also, the time of the week you have your wedding is crucial. Obviously, weekends are very expensive, so if you have a midweek wedding, you can save a lot of money. And it can be quite expensive for people travelling down, maybe having to take a couple of days off work. So perhaps look at having it on a Friday, so it spills over into the weekend.
What about overseas weddings? Tina, do you know, is that a cheaper option?
It can be, absolutely. You could get an overseas wedding for sort of about £7,000 compared to the average cost of a wedding here is about £20,000. But it's a big decision. It's obviously, it affects how many guests you have. And you have to think very carefully about the venue you go to as well. A lot of them will offer you lots of fantastic offers and great deals on free cake or free this, but you actually have to weigh up about the value of these things versus the value of the actual hotel itself. It's well worth doing your research on an overseas wedding, I think.
Now, Amy in specific, she's getting married, having her party in a castle in Wales, that's right?
Yeah.
And the big issue you have is with the alcohol costs.
Yeah.
Because obviously that can really hike the prices up. Rachel, are there any ways that Amy could save on this?
Well, I'd say don't feel that you have to go with their preferred supplier. You can go off-piste and find your own supplier, and they'll probably charge you a corkage fee, but that will, coupled with the cheaper alcohol, that will save you money. And some of the wine merchants do a great sale or return policy now. So somewhere like Threshers, you save money buying their booze, and then basically you can take it back if it's unopened.
Okay, well that's great. So what about the type of alcohol you serve? Do you have to serve vintage champagne, or can you sort of save some costs there?
Absolutely not, no. I mean, you can go down the Prosecco or Cava versus champagne route, and that will save you a significant amount. And also you can stretch your alcohol, so you can have cocktails which look incredibly classy, but it makes the alcohol go a lot further, so that will save you lots of money.
What are the areas of the wedding that you really shouldn't be scrimping on? Obviously we want to save money where possible, but where are the places where you think just have to blow the budget and you have to spend it on?
For me, it's dress. I think every bride wants to feel $1 million on her big day, so I really wouldn't scrimp on dress. You've got to, just go for the one that you feel fabulous in. And there are ways of getting a discount. If you go to weddingmagazine.co.uk, we have details of all the latest sample sales in your area and designer dress sales, so have a look there. And also by paying up front, sometimes you can get yourself a bit of a discount. So I would say negotiate as well.
Yeah, surely in this climate, Tina, you're almost in a position of power because
Absolutely.
Everyone needs the business. Surely you can negotiate on costs.
It is the time to barter, at one time more than any other. I know the British are very bad at this and we don't like doing it, but there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't say, can I have a discount? And most of the time now, people are so keen for the business, they'll say yes. So it thinks about, for example, where you buy your wedding dress. If you're going to buy your bridesmaids dresses there too, can I have a discount? And it's perfectly reasonable to ask. The worst thing they can say is no.
Should you play off a few suppliers at a time, get a few quotes and say, well, this person has
Absolutely, play dirty.
Yeah.
Everyone is desperate for the business, so you just need to get your high heels on and go in there and tell them that that's what you want.
So Rachel, are there any other sort of little personal ways that you can save money on your wedding day?
Definitely. I mean, I think some of the best weddings I've been to have been the ones that just really mean something to the bride and groom. So, you know, enlist the help of absolutely everyone, your friends and family. Get your bridesmaids over one evening to help you make the favours, open a couple of bottles of wine. If you've got a particularly creative friend, you can buy a cake from Marks and Spencer's, I think for around £100, a 3-tier cake, and get her to decorate it for you with a bit of ribbon, perhaps the bridesmaid's posy, perhaps you know someone who's good at playing the harp or the piano or the violin. They could, you know, see you down the aisle with their fabulous music. Or maybe somebody with a vintage car that you could borrow for the day. There are all sorts of ways, and friends and family generally would be more than happy to help.
Amy, have you got any sort of friends and family sort of doing those kind of things for you?
Yeah, obviously because I'm getting married in Wales, I've got all my family there who are helping me because I live so far away in London. So I've got lots of helping hands there waiting for me.
So have you got anyone sort of doing the stationery or favours?
My mum's actually making the bridesmaid dresses, and I'm
fantastic.
doing the invites and the favours myself.
How many bridesmaids do you have?
3, my nieces.
Right, after the big day, you've got your amazing honeymoon. Tina, are there any other ways that she can save on her honeymoon costs?
Well, I was going to ask, are you currently living with your fiancé? Have you already got all your pots and pans and teapots? Have you thought about on your wedding list having travel vouchers towards your honeymoon? There's a few websites that you can have a look at that will actually, instead of people buying something from John Lewis for you or whatever, they can actually get travel vouchers towards the cost, which is quite a nice way, and a lot of people seem to be doing it these days. It's just as acceptable as asking for a set of towels.